Okay, so I get asked this question a lot. The company won't accept my pay for deletion letter. What do I do? The company doesn't want to settle at all. What do I do? The company will settle, but they won't delete the account. What do I do? First of all, let me answer this question. Companies do not have to agree to settle. Companies do not have to agree to delete if it's not their policy. That's just bottom line. Just already know that going into disputing or sending a pay for deletion letter, a goodwill letter, whatever. Companies have the right to keep debt on your credit report, paid or unpaid, for 7 years. And that is their right to do so. If a company extends a courtesy and they delete your account because you pay it, it's because they extended a courtesy, or it was because it was their policy already. Regardless of what the law states, their policy is to delete once paid. Now, if you happen to be working with a company who does not have a policy to agree to delete, this company does not honor goodwill letters, there's no law as of right now that says you have to delete this account because we paid it. You have to honor this goodwill letter because I was going through a financial hardship. Like, that is a courtesy of the company. It's a courtesy. It's not a requirement, okay? So when there are laws that back things, it's like, I got you. I could draft you up a letter real quick and tell you, okay, use this law or whatever, or under this section of the FCRA or under this section of the FDCPA, this allows you to do XYZ. But there's no law as of right now that says you have to delete this debt because it's paid, or you have to remove this, or you have to, like, there's nothing right now, as of right now, that we could use to our advantage to get a company to agree to delete. So what it boils down to is ultimately you wanting to continue to deal with this company or allow this particular account to sit on your credit report or not. If you have the funds to be able to pay a debt and the company doesn't want to delete, would you rather leave the debt on your account unpaid with the possible risk of being sold to a collection agency or possibly you being sued if the debt is within the statute of limitations? Or do you rather just pay the debt and it be a paid whatever? And sometimes I never, ever tell people to, pay a debt if it's not going to be removed, especially collections. But in the event that a debt is still with the original creditor, it's like, bro, you kind of owe them. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of signed a contract with them. You kind of said if you didn't agree or if you didn't hold up your end of the bargain that this debt could be placed with the put on your credit report as a derogatory account. It could charge off. It could close, and then it could be sold to a collection agency. Like, you kind of signed a contract that said all of that. You probably didn't read it, but you signed it, So when a debt is still with the original creditor and they don't want to delete the account, we can't make them, As of right now, I know laws are changing constantly, but as of right now, there's nothing that we can say to make them. So in certain situations, you are going to have a paid closed account with maybe some derogatory, maybe have some late payments or something like that. But it is better for that account to not have a balance than to have one and risk being sold. So now you not only have the original creditor, you have this collection agency that you have to deal with as well. And you also don't want to allow an account to sit so long that it charges off. So now you have a charge off. And then if you leave it unpaid, now you got a collection. So now you got a collection and a charge off. And those are two separate things that you have to address. Now, while the charge off can have a balance, it has to be zero and only the collection agency can report a balance. You still have two derogatory accounts on your credit report for one debt. So it ultimately boils down to you. If the account is about to fall off, then that's something else you got to think about. Like, has the debt become too old? And it doesn't matter. Like, if a debt gets to a point where it's too old, where you will no longer be sued on a debt, then you have to, so this debt is old. Do I really want to pay them and this shit about to fall off? Fuck that. I don't got nothing coming up, so I ain't finna pay them. Like, those are things like you have to think about. You know, like a lot of times y'all ask me stuff and I don't know, like, because I'm not looking at your credit report. I don't know when this account is about to fall off. I don't know if it's still within the statute of limitations. I don't know what state you lived in, you know, like I don't know where you got this debt. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to know what led to you having this closed account and the collection of the charge off, but it's just the other facts. You know, like what state you residing in, so I can know your statute of limitations. When was the last time you made a payment, so we can figure out if the debt is still within the statute of limitations, things like that. So it really boils down to you. So there, as far as what do I do next? Legally, there's nothing you can do. Like right now, there's no law that we can use to our advantage. I can say to you is to keep trying. Maybe you'll find a rep who's a little bit more lenient, has a soft spot, and would be willing to work with you because maybe they can relate. But in the event that you don't, then bro, there's nothing there's nothing I can say. My son's coming. But yeah, there's nothing that I can recommend. So I'm finna go. Yeah, I gotta go. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's all I got. If you have questions or need me to elaborate, drop a comment below. And I'll be back with another video where I'll respond to your comment. Peace.
Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grasslands.